Alrighty. Hey everybody, I was just talking to myself. I thought I clicked the go live button, but good morning. Um, we're gonna go ahead and start to prep for the pre-market. A few stocks that we'll be looking at today. A few of those stocks would be Google, Meta, Nvidia, Tesla, AMD, Amazon. But primary stocks that we'll be watching for today will be Google, Meta, Nvidia, Amazon, and then a secondary play that I'll be looking at is Tesla and AMD. We have the Fed, Powell, he speaks later on today, so I won't be going in too heavy early on in the market. I will be just probably going at just moderate size to start off today's trading. So let's go ahead and map out NVIDIA first. NVIDIA, so far on the monthly, NVIDIA didn't do anything for the whole entire month of October, and then we're basically ending October extremely strong. So I do see a level here on the monthly chart. Not sure if we're gonna get to about 217 today, but I'm going to put its level here because normally what happens on days that we go ahead and break out like this, we kind of do get a continuation. So we might get this continuation all the way to 217, 215 psychological number right there. But I'm definitely loving Nvidia. There's no levels for me to highlight too much on Nvidia in terms of previous lows because we just broke to all-time high areas, so we don't have any double top areas, double bottom areas too much. This is mainly just we cracked through all-time highs, which that's where this level is at. This 195, right? And we're gonna see how everything plays out from there. All right. So I'm definitely liking what I see from Nvidia here. If I was to put a bracketed, a bracketed level, that would be at 197. And what is a bracketed level? I'm calling this a bracketed area or level. Is when we have a double top on the all-time high, and then we, we can see which area was like resistance and support. So we know right here what was resistance, and there was an R2 level. We broke through that. So we do have this area that was once resistance that could now be support. But this could go all the way up here too. So I'm going to delete this. This is not that important. So there's really no levels in terms of like a double top or double bottom for me to highlight because once again we are at all-time highs. So going back to it, give me 1 second. All right, I had to clear my throat. So I definitely like Nvidia. I normally I do like stocks like this because it's not really too much for me to go ahead and map out. Everything here is fairly cutthroat. A lot of bullish activity yesterday. I wish I got a chance to really take a good chunk of this move. I wasn't yesterday. I did trade SoFi, and I caught a little piece of the scalp. I traded this thing, probably made like $60 on it, $80, because I was at work and I was in the office, so I couldn't take advantage of this play too much. But nonetheless, so we're here now, so we can see how today trades, and maybe we get that push. Right now, we're still trading around the VWAP on the 4-hour chart. So some pullbacks is definitely possible. Some pullbacks can definitely possibly happen. So be aware of that. But we are trading above VWAP for the most part, above a previous day's activity. So we do have more of a bullish flow that can happen, but we have to watch out for those pullbacks because people would be looking to take profit. Like I give an example, I bought Nvidia stock for my girlfriend, and it's in her portfolio, and at this price, I would be taking some profits off. Now, she doesn't have a massive position like some of these hedge funds do. But if I'm taking profit, imagine other people. So we do have to watch out for some selling that can take place, especially when going ahead and looking at this 1-hour chart. Right, what I'm seeing here is that we're seeing some wicks towards the top side, which could lead to some sell-off. But the trend for the overall perspective is still there, right? We got the 20, we got the 9, we got the VWAP, kind of trading still above this, so we still have some action which could go ahead and push this stock higher. All right. So once again, I'm not really. Oops, something dropped. Okay, that was my mat that dropped. Wow. All right, so back to it. We do have some resistance here that happened yesterday. This was the high of to yesterday, but we went ahead and broke through this, and there was no other indication that that area is some type of resistance because there's no other candles forming here. So we're pretty much solid with Nvidia. In terms of news, I really think this thing is just moving just because of the market. I really don't think there's any pressing news on this thing. I'm looking at the news calendar. Palantir could be Nvidia's fastest route to 500 to million. Kathy Wood, okay, yep, Kathy Wood is always doing something. Quantum D-Wave, Quantum Giants, Nvidia's NVQ link, Thailand ahead. Okay, there's nothing major there. Lucid rallies after expanding autonomous driving partnership with Nvidia. Okay, that's nice. So we got some EV cars that's putting some NVIDIA chips in there. NVIDIA to rally around 37%. NVIDIA call buyer gains. Okay, yeah. So we got a lot of push right now on NVIDIA in terms of price targets, in terms of positive catalyst around it. So this thing could lead to either a profit taking a little bit at the open, or B, continuation and eventual profit taking, or just C, this thing is just gonna go straight up. So let's see what happens today on NVIDIA, but this is definitely on the list. If we was to go ahead and look at the 5-minute chart, let's take a good look at this. We got a lot of activity. We're staying above moving averages for the most part. We did roll over and break below the 9 and 20, but action still is holding above VWAP right here. All right. We can see we did hold some type of support, some type of consolidation support right around this area. So maybe I can draw up a little box because we can see we tapped here a few times, right? And then once we got to around here, we saw this strong spike up. So how about we go ahead and highlight that for today, right? Yep, so I'm going to draw this, and this is going to be today's bracketed area where we see this support. We held above here. So this is a support area on the intraday trading when we're talking about NVIDIA right now. In terms of double tops, I'm not really seeing that. Like we did come in and said we got right here again and sold. But once again, if that's the case, there is some type of support. We got a high volume level right there, and I'll make sure to go ahead and confirm that. We double bottomed right here in the pre-market, well, actually triple bottomed because this area held major support. So this is pre-market low anyway, so we don't need to go ahead and highlight a boxed or a bracketed area, as I call it, down here because we already have the pre-market low. So I think this is pretty much solid. Sometimes I like to do it anyways just to make sure that my thesis is still intact. So let's go ahead and just draw that real quick. And let's put it right at pre-market low. So nice. Yeah, so we still got, so this is, something cool to even have on the chart. It's fine. I don't think it's going to hurt. Because we know that this was a triple bottom area kind of a deal. All right. And then resistance is resistance. I think that's pretty much, cutthroat. We got pre-market high. We don't got to put too many of them here. This was only, we sold off here, but where we fell at, I don't think, and mind you, we're trading above here. So it's good to just highlight the support areas getting into all-time high at 209 inside the pre-market. So definitely liking NVIDIA for a continuation up. Let's see how this plays out. If this thing sells off, then we should be aiming for where this bracketed area is at 205, which it definitely has the possibility of getting there, but that thesis is not fully there yet because we're trading above VWAP, the 50 moving average, 9 and 20. So when we have a trend like that above moving averages, I will assume that this thing will probably going to go high, especially with strong catalyst. All right. Now, looking at the level two, there is a consistent amount of sellers here, but there's also a consistent amount of buyers. I think it's just an even playing field for the most part. We can see here sellers have a little bit more edge just going off of the graph a bit. But I think the buyers could easily go ahead and step up and continue to push this thing higher, especially since we're at all-time highs. On the buy side, we got lot sizes of 2,000 or like 2,700 to lot size at 207 around there. And then it's probably no other buyers after that. It's pretty much quiet. We do have large sellers at 208, a 5,000 lot size, another 2K lot size at 208 again, 1,000 lot size at 209. So we got sellers up there towards 209, and we have buyers in terms of the lowest dollar amount. The buyers is at 207. So we got a high seller at 209 and 207 with a low, with the low dollar amount of buyers there, if that makes sense. So so let's see how this thing plays out. I want to make sure I have the right high volume candle level identified. Let's see. Yep, right here, which I have that level. So this little candle here was 3 million. We went short. And you don't really see the continuation there at all. All right, and we're still trading above VWAP, but this can easily come in right at market open and then sell down to 205, or it could just disregard that, and this could just really be this can really be some buyers that are going to step up and then push this thing to 209 and more. So let's see. But so far, I do like what I'm seeing on NVIDIA. So NVIDIA will be on the list today, guys. So NVIDIA, let me just ensure that is clearly there. And once again, I won't be pressing the gas too much today, just for the simple fact that Fed Chairman Powell is going to speak today. So today's basically a Fed meeting on interest rates, and we want to see how the market interacts with that. What we are seeing already is that the market has already, priced it in terms of what the Fed is going to do. So, I think we might channel for a while. Maybe some small scalps may come in, but we're going to see a big play maybe around the 11 o'clock hour back east. My apologies for yawning. Man, like I said, I do start this thing really early on the West Coast at 6 in the morning. So, alrighty. So NVIDIA. Let's look at NVIDIA on the order book. NVIDIA, we got some sellers. Got some sellers at 209. So right at that pre-market high area is definitely some sellers there. It's not as much buying, to be honest with you guys. I'm not really seeing that. Buyers are present. Let's not get it twisted, though. Buyers are definitely present. But I'll watch out for sellers. The higher up you go, level 5. Okay. I had to go ahead and refresh the order book. So buying is present. There's just some more selling that's going on, but we are seeing some consistent buyers, but some large sellers tend to step up a bit. But once again, we're still above moving averages. So let's see how price interacts the higher up we go, and then let's see if those buyers are going to be consistent. It seems like they might be consistent right at the market open, to be honest. So there could be a chance for an immediate buy at market open, but that depends on where we're at in terms of is there an immediate good risk to reward setup where we could go ahead and take it for the quick ride higher. So it all depends on risk reward. All right. But still, personally, like we all have a strategy. My strategy is that I'm not really keen on going in heavy size right out the gate, all because of those quick movements. I don't like quick scalps like that. I like to go ahead and really catch a feel of what's going on in the market so I can put myself in the best situation. So once again, I like what I see here. Buyers are stepping up, starting to come in. It seems like we may hold support around this 208 area and push higher. But some large sellers tend to keep coming in. So yeah, but nonetheless, this is a really good stock to watch today. All right, so we got that locked in. You know, the thing about AMD is that AMD is going to fall. I could literally see it happening. Oh, I don't know if that's going to be today, but AMD is going to fall. You know what? I definitely want to keep my eye out on AMD. Let's go ahead and map out AMD. I like the setup on AMD on the daily chart. Now, I'm not sure how this thing will fall. Not sure if today is going to go ahead and be that day, but I love the setup on the daily chart. So 264.58 is the high of yesterday on AMD. Pre-market high right now is 264.43. Pre-market low is right here at 261.50. We're gonna go ahead and find a high volume candle on that. Let's go ahead and delete this for right now. Let's also delete this as well. And then we're going to go ahead and find out yesterday's low. Yesterday's low was 257 flat. Okay. So right now we're trading in between the highs and lows of to yesterday on AMD. Then we're going to find a high volume candle. So let's see high volume. Seems like we have 500,000 shares traded right here on this candle right here. 551,000 shares traded right at this candle. We found some resistance right here because we consolidated a bit, and then went ahead and broke down. We did low-key kind of go ahead and double bottom here and got that push, but we just couldn't break it. So I'll definitely be mindful of this here. But I think there's some other levels that we could definitely identify, and I could draw up a bracketed area and find something that could be a little bit more key. So let's see the monthly, strong monthly, strong weekly. Oh, well, strong to monthly for sure. The weekly is starting to come up with an indecision, so I think we're starting to see uneasiness or just unsure of direction. So this could lead to some chop. So I'm not really too sure about that. So I might put this on my third, on my third stock to watch. But Nvidia is my first. And then when we go in here on the 4-hour chart, right? I'm not seeing a bracketed area too clearly, but what I am seeing is that we are falling below VWAP. We're still trading above the 9 and 20, so the bull trend on this is still very well intact. But you can clearly see we got some resistance right here. Right, you clearly see that some resistance was at 263, even to 264. So just about like $1 and change on resistance where somebody else might go ahead and set their stop. So we can clearly see right here all of this resistance. So let's draw up a bracketed area, right? This is important because we can clearly see this whole entire area is resistance. You can clearly see that. Boom. I think I'm coming down with a little cold. But we could clearly see this area on the 1-hour chart is resistance. You see how we went ahead and came here, fell. We came right here to yesterday. Oops. What is that? That needs to be fixed. Yeah, so we came here again, have resistance. So this is really important to notate. This is really, really super important to notate that there is resistance here. There's resistance at its all-time highs. There's resistance just basically at this price area of 263. So let's watch out for that, right? Let's see if there's any double bottoms. We got a slight one here, so we've been holding this area quite a bit, quite a bit, right? So from right here, quite a bit. Nothing major, but we've been because we went ahead and bounced, we broke through, we held, we keep coming here. So we're kind of in like a bracketed area as well on the bottom side of AMD. So we need to pick a direction on where we want to go, right? But I like this resistance that I'm seeing here. So let's see what happens with AMD. But AMD is pretty solid. It's pretty solid, especially being at all-time highs. It's easy to identify where we're at here. So I like what I'm seeing on AMD. AMD was pretty nice. This might go on my second playlist, man. It might. It all depends how these charts is. Yeah, because I like the resistance. I like the support down here. On the 1 hour, we got some heavy resistance right here, man. Yep, yep, yep. I'll just make this a little bit more red because so I could identify that is yesterday's all-time high. Cool, cool. I like what I'm seeing. I definitely like what I'm seeing here. Um, this thing can channel, so I'm not like automatically I want to go short, whatever. It's just because we're kind of in a box, like, and this is where you could run into some choppy action, but I like it. We've been trading a little bit more so under VWAP and moving averages more so than we have been trading above it, besides the 200. But the fact that we're above the 200, I always think to myself that this thing could go ahead and push higher. So we got to go ahead and be mindful of these moving averages as always. On the 15-minute chart, still above the 200. We are rolling over. We're below VWAP, below 9 and 20, below but above the 50, and we have a level that's right here on the 15-minute chart at 260. I'm gonna highlight this just in case we do go ahead and fall, and then we have a target point to go ahead and we have a target point to go ahead and highlight. So let's go ahead and change this to a yellow colorway, so I know that's a target for me. All right, on the 1 hour chart, there's no levels to really identify there. All right, same thing for the 4 hour chart. All righty, cool. No news on this one. I think this is just straight up off the back of NVIDIA to right now, so no news. When we're talking about AMD. All right, cool, cool. Order book, there's a lot of buyers. We could just tell by the graph here. There's just more to buying that wants to take place. We got a large lot size of 77,000 at 262. So that's something to highlight right there. So we got 77K at 262. That's a large jump to buyer at 262 flat. So we gotta go ahead and watch out for that. So that's where you see it, but so that's where you see that order. But that could easily drop prices too at the same rate. So it's either we're gonna get a push or we're just gonna get an automatic sell off. I'm gonna put AMD on my second play actually. AMD looks pretty solid. Obviously, this thing can cause some chop, but at the same time, this thing could also provide a great move, man. So let's see how this thing goes on AMD. I like it. Okay. Moving on. So we got NVIDIA, AMD. Let's check out. I did like Google's chart. I did like Google's chart a little bit. Meta, I think Meta would be a good play after earnings. I don't like the daily so far with 2 days of an indecision, and then we're basically waiting for what's gonna happen after earnings. Tesla's been pretty solid, but this won't be something that I will go ahead and watch it, but I think Google is a little bit better, especially with a catalyst coming about fairly soon. Amazon just got this nice move up, actually. So I think Amazon is also good to watch. And there's news around Amazon too, more so, especially with the job layoffs, which ironically that could lead to some bullish activity on Amazon. Amazon has earnings tomorrow, but I do like this activity that I'm seeing on Amazon. So between Amazon and Google, Google went from 270 to 267. That's nice. The hardest part is, you know, picking stocks. Like these things can move, but you want to pick something that is going to be, obviously a great mover. I'm probably gonna lean a little bit more towards Amazon. The reason why I say that I'm just seeing a lot of choppiness right around here. I do love this sell off from 269 to 260 to 267. I like the motion of Google. The only thing about it is that Amazon, when I see plays like this, and we're up a percent, and we got some movement, like we have some activity that can take place today. So I'm gonna look at Amazon. I'm gonna look at Amazon. I'm basically going off of experience at this point. It's just that when I see a play like this already that happened, large movement like that, I think that'd be a good play. The only concern I have with Google is that we're still waiting for earnings, so that may chop around, and we may not get the move that like a good consistent move on that. So Amazon for sure, for sure, for sure. Let's go ahead and keep an eye out on that. All right, let's take this level out of here. Man, Amazon made a great move within the last few days, man. And Amazon actually might pop on earnings tomorrow. Just the way it's setting up, Amazon looks like that it could go ahead and pop. But nonetheless, the high of yesterday was 231.49. The low of yesterday was 226.21. All right, I'll put those levels there right on the money. 234 is the high of the pre-market. All right. Low of the pre-market is 226.68. Okay. We have a level here, and I want to know what is this purple level all about? Because this is where we're at. And this purple level, from what I'm seeing, this thing can go away. Not really seeing why this level is so important. Okay, I see why. Yeah, but no, because this wasn't a major drop. Yeah, because we pulled back there. So I got this level from a previous where we got to all-time highs, and then we kind of sold off and then pushed over to all-time highs and broke it. So it's an important level. It's not like a really, really important level, but it's an important level to highlight. I don't know if I should keep it there though. That's fine. I can see why it's there. So levels are basically set for Amazon. Let's find a high volume candle. Let's see, 174. Okay, we got a high volume candle right here at 487. 487. So 487,000 shares were traded right here above this 230.45. All right. Let me see something. Let's go to Google and let's see what is its high volume candle looking like. And you see a high volume candle on Google right now is not even above 120,000 shares traded. So I could just see Amazon is just gonna have some movement. I don't know how well, but I can see that it's gonna have some movement. Alrighty. So when we go on the monthly, Amazon is starting to go ahead and build up a bit. We did pull back around here to 216, falling down to 210. And we kind of just held this price action for the month of October, starting to push up higher. On the weekly, we're still a little bit indecisive on direction. We're gonna wait for those earnings report, but we can see here that this is the pre-market action that we're playing. That we're playing within between 228 and 234. So that's a good price range. We do have some solid resistance that can take place around 236 or so, but nonetheless, it looks like we could possibly go ahead and push higher. We have a lot of levels to the top side, a lot of levels. And I don't want to go ahead and overcrowd this chart with too many levels. I think there's already enough. But Amazon has been pretty solid thus far in terms of its activity, and the pre-market is pretty good. So we're just gonna go ahead and go to the 4-hour chart and try to see if there's any like double top areas that we want to go ahead and see. That's key. The market's about to open up in just 7 minutes, so this will be the last stock that I go ahead and map out. So far in the 4-hour, we are trading above all moving averages, VWAP, 9, 20, 50, 200. We are pushing up higher too. We do have some resistance that's coming up right here as well. Let's go ahead and put a level right here because I do see that we have an R level, and I would like to identify that on a smaller time frame. We did go ahead and break past this key level briefly, but once again, there is resistance in this zone. So let's try to see what's going on in this zone, right? With this white line being the pre-market high, you can see here that we had a sell-off, and we also had like a little bit of a double top just recently. So this is something that is identifiable right here, but how consistent is that? This area also was support at one point where we pushed to 239. I just want to see from past instances how much is this resistance, and yeah, there's definitely some resistance here because even right here, right, you see right here another sell point. So is there another sell point around here? Kind of, sort of. There's still another sell point. All right, so this area, this 234 area, is key for resistance. So let's go ahead and mark that, right? Let's go ahead and mark this. So right here, we're going to start at this point. And then there was some support right here. Okay. I just want to make sure to capture this. All right, so there's resistance all the way up and through this zone. Boom. Now, why am I saying, right? I'm saying this resistance because look at this drop off right here. We got here again, sold off. In this area where we got above it, there were buys we held, then we pushed to 239, right? But if we go back, still selling off of there, off of that area. And then go ahead and look at this. So we got a few sell points right at this peak. Every single time. A few sell points. So right here, you see right here we sold. So this point that it was once resistance can still show as resistance. I even got one again all the way down here. See? So this area, there's definitely some resistance right here on Amazon, for sure. For sure. Because we've tapped this area so many times and just resisted it. So many times. So Amazon is actually freaking nice. And if we do break above this, right, then yeah, this thing is going higher. All right. So Amazon for sure. For for sure. Amazon. I like that. Spy's at 688, 689. That's crazy. Crazy, man. Crazy markets. Just putting the highs and lows for putting the highs and lows in for the SPY just so I have that marked for myself. SPY is not something I trade. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's not for me. I just feel like the volatility is not really there in terms of trading all the time. I more so get that within actual like stocks. But good. We're trading. We're trading within yesterday's range for the most part, but we have broken out of it, so something to go ahead and notate there. So let's go over the order book for AMD first, because I didn't check that out. AMD's order book is a lot of sellers on AMD. As I mentioned, right, is that on AMD, I was able to see here that there's some resistance right here. See right there, and even to right here in the pre-market. So we do have some resistance here. Seems like we're probably going to go ahead and bust out of this, though. But we do have some resistance right there. So let's see how this goes ahead and play out on AMD. I'm seeing a lot of sellers, though. It's a lot of sellers. So it's something to watch out at market open. And then we got Amazon. Amazon's not really too much activity going on. Right now, it's kind of flat. But we have sellers all the way at 233 on Amazon. So, alrighty. Cool. Oh, man. I don't know what just happened. That's fine. Order book. Cool. It seems like, it's just a lot more sellers on Amazon, though. Alrighty. Market's about to open up in just a few. As always, we're going to go ahead and wait for our opportunities and go from there. I'll be watching AMD at the open. I have my eyes on Tesla, though. I mean, on NVIDIA. I'll be looking for this bracketed area to hold for NVIDIA, possibly. If AMD breaks, might go ahead and quickly take this long to 265. Yeah. Got there pretty fast. Ooh, yep. Let's go to AMD. We're going to go with a quick long on this. Some 265 calls. Just one contract. This is a key area. I just went in on this. I feel like my stop just got hit. Yeah. Okay, yeah, my stop got hit so fast on that. I don't want to try again. $265, $665. All right. I'm back in on AMD for a long. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay. I might go ahead and lose on this trade. Yeah, it's getting to my stop really quick. I was trying to do a quick scalp on it. Let me not press the gas too much now. I just like it because it got above this bracketed area. So I felt like it was just a no-brainer, and it's probably going to push to 270 quickly. Definitely love what you see what Nvidia did. It got right to my level and just popped. Yeah, that was nice. Unsure on what we're gonna get with AMD right here. I'm looking for AMD to go ahead and get this push. Let's see. Are the bids gonna step into the ask? Has the potential. For sure has the potential. Amazon is selling. Nvidia is pushing higher. Literally held onto that level. Nvidia, I'm sorry, not Nvidia. AMD might struggle a little bit here. Nice Nvidia. Yeah. They're going to go ahead and push this higher. Definitely love what I'm seeing with AMD right now. But I don't think AMD is going to do what Nvidia is doing. Yeah, I could just see AMD just dropping, and then all of the attention is going on at Nvidia too. But I got my stop order in place, so it's all right. If I take this loss, I'll take the loss. I'll definitely be more patient with my next entry. Yep, there we go. Trying to take AMD to about near 270, but I don't think AMD wants to go ahead and do that. Seems like we're running into resistance. We got a level right here on Nvidia. There's a lot of buyers coming in on AMD right now. Yeah, these AMD contracts cost quite a bit, so I can't really I can't really go ahead and jump in there and add. Like I said, I'm trying to be mindful of me keeping some ammo for later. So there's a lot of to wicks towards the top side on AMD. Yeah, my stop is probably going to get hit on this. Yeah, my stop is probably going to get hit. Nice. Man, look at NVIDIA just go. Oh yeah, my stop just got hit. I'm down 162, so I'm chilling. I'm chilling. Just gotta sit back. Right now, AMD is going into a resistance zone. We're rolling over on the 2 minute chart. We're rolling over the 9 and 20. Yeah, today's a day. Just gotta be a little bit careful. Just gotta chill out a little bit. The bottom of that purple box is it can be some support. It's funny, if my stop wasn't so close at market open, I would have made money. And that stop was extremely close. And my stop order got hit so fast. Normally I move it to $1, but I have it preset to like 60 cents, and it hit it so quick. I didn't have enough time to move it. Oh man, there's a lot of support here on AMD. I'm sorry, on AMD, on NVIDIA. Sometimes I'm always saying the wrong ticker at first. There's a lot of support here. Seems like AMD is running into some resistance. We are trading under VWAP on the 2 minute chart. Yeah, I'll watch out for an AMD sell-off. I like this. I like what I'm seeing here on AMD. I just see a good risk to reward. I've been trading for about 6 years, bro. Yeah, I've been trading for about 6. Then I was just like, man, let me go live and just see who I could teach along the way. Just bring some exposure. I know when I started it, I didn't really have anybody to go to, so I figured I'd be that person for other people. Okay, we got some resistance on AMD. I like what I'm seeing. I'm loving the risk to reward setup on AMD. I'm probably gonna go short fairly soon. I kind of want to wait till maybe we get to 262 or maybe back to 265. I don't really see it greatly right now, but I do like the potential short that can happen on AMD. We're under VWAP, but we're still above other moving averages. But there's a purple drawing that I have here. This is a prior resistance. All of this is just resistance. So I do love what I'm seeing here. I just don't want to jump in too soon. because this thing can easily be bought back up. So it's just not to ready yet. I'd rather get it at 265 or once I see confirmation of the breakdown. Appreciate that, bro. Man, would love to have you, bro. I'm always here to teach and give all my knowledge, man. So absolutely, man. I'm here it's Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So for sure, man. Appreciate you for joining. Please like and subscribe. I have to ask those things, so appreciate that, bro. I'm just waiting for my next opportunity at this point. I'm not really jumping into my next position. I'm only down so far today 162, which is not bad at all. I'm just waiting for my next opportunity. I probably was short if we get into 265. I'll probably go ahead and short some. Actually short. Um, I just kind of have to wait for a red candle though. I don't want to short into. I don't want to short into a lot of buying action because that could just lead to like complete turmoil. And I'm already down on the day, so and I think today could be a big day. I just kind of just have to wait for my opportunities. So I'm chilling right now. A lot of the times, you're not really gonna see like for my strategy, like you kind of have to wait about like 30 minutes to an hour to really go ahead, get an entry, and take a position. I tried a quick position, and funny enough, I'm not really good at those strategies, like those quick scalps out the gate. I think today, I think I mentioned this already, I would have actually made some money. I just my stop order was just so close, and it got hit to right away. Normally, I move the stop order to about $1 from my entry, so then I could only lose 100. So that's how I lost $100 on that other trade. So I would have been in the green if I didn't have that if I didn't have that minor mistake. So now with that, I have to go ahead and take it easy for my next position. If I want to short it, that's what you mean? Because you said you want it below resistance or under VWAP. Oh, got you, got you. I would like to see this is a good risk to reward. So really, I want it below the VWAP for sure. For sure, I want it to stay below the VWAP. But the issue is that the reason why I can't short it right now, and I don't feel confident in the short, is because one, Fed Chairman Powell is going to speak later on this morning, and since he is going to speak, that could really go ahead and move the market. I only want to short it if we are within this purple box and start to fold and get lower. That's the only way I want to short it. But it doesn't look too good for short. The reason why I'm saying that is because we're above moving averages for the most part. So the bull case is still very well intact. That's why I can't really short it. I could go long right here and try to see if this thing could go ahead and break again. But what I don't like about me going long on AMD is that we have a resistance right here at 266. So we got this pivot level. So my risk to reward is limited. So I could be caught up in chop. And I think the market is going to be basically choppy all the way until Powell speaks. There's going to be like a lot of quick little scalps, but those quick little scalps you might get, like depending on how I like to trade it, because I go in a small amount of contract size first before I go in heavy. So I'm only gonna go in like one contract. So I'm only gonna make what, like $30, $40. If I continue to play like that, I'm going to deplete all of my ammo for me to trade throughout the day. So I really need to wait for a good setup where I'm able to get in one contract. Then, if I see something moving, I could put in 3, 4 contracts, and then we get a good positive return. But so right now, there's no good positive return because resistance is so nearby, support is so nearby. So there's going to be a lot of choppy action. I don't know what time Powell's going to speak. Maybe Powell's going to speak around like 11 o'clock East Coast time. So maybe I could go ahead and find that out. But yeah. Yeah, bro. Yeah, man. Like as soon as we got to the bottom of this purple box I have here, you can see it just literally just ripped right back up. But like I said, now is this resistance is here on the 2 minute chart. You don't see any resistance here on the 5 minute. So somebody else who's not looking at the 2 minute can easily go ahead and say, okay, yeah, you know what, we're probably gonna take a ride higher, but you really don't know that because we got this resistance that's right here. So I would like to short it to then have this thing break this area. And right now, I kind of like it because we're at 265, so I could take a 265 strike price on the short side. But once again, I don't want to deplete my ammo to like that. I might go short here, to be honest with you. I like what I'm saying because we're at the 265, so I do like this. So I'm about to go in one contract. Yep. I'm going in short. And then I'm gonna move my stop. So I got in at 5. Come on now. Hold on. So my option, I bought it at 680. My stop is at 580. So yeah, I'm gonna go short here. I'm gonna watch the order book. And we're gonna see how this thing plays out. I would like us to get back into this purple box, and then continue to sell off. I would like that. And in the meantime, while that's working, I know you joined a little bit late, right? So where did I get that from is that what you're gonna see here is that we had a lot of resistance right here. So you see how we knocked here and fell, came here, kind of fell again, and then right at this peak, that was it, and then dropped. So that's why this area is all resistance. But we are trading above it, right? So this thing can easily go ahead and move higher for sure. But what I'm seeing on the order book is that there's a lot of sellers there. So, you know, I've seen the market come back here, channel here for a little bit, and then fold. So that's why I'm a bit leaning on the short side. I should also think long at the same time too, because we're above the bracketed area and we're in a bull market. But I want to see how this R3 plays out, and it seems like we're about to go ahead and break it. So, yep, and we are. But how strong is this? I don't see it that strong. But I have a stop order in place anyway. So, you know, if I take the loss, I take the loss. It's fine. I just see that there's a lot of resistance here. So that's why I went short with a dollar stop. So like the most I could lose on this trade is $100. I do like it to go long, but like I said, I'm seeing a lot of sellers on the order book. I see R3 here, so I definitely think there is some resistance on the top side. And my theory could be completely wrong, so that's why I have a stop order there. You know. So I just got to sit here and wait for it. The daily chart does look bullish. So on this small little box here, this is the daily. It does look bullish. It's kind of hard to see. So it's definitely bullish, but you can see here that there is some resistance. I think you probably see it better. So like you see here, how we're not getting like full buying. It's like we got this little small little wick that's right there. It's really small. That's telling you that there is some resistance here. We just don't. I would like to see how strong this resistance is going to play, right? And then it's there because if I was a buyer, I'm not getting a good flow towards the top side. Like it's going up, and it could probably consistently go up, but it's not going up there in a nice fluid manner. It's going there real choppy. So that's what's giving me the inclination that we could go short. So, we see how this plays. Nvidia is already pulling back. SPY is not really doing anything right now. So, we see. If I lose on this trade, yeah, I'm gonna probably wait for another like 30 minutes or so, another hour before I take my next trade. Allow the market to figure itself out. I've had two green days back to back, so I damn sure don't want to go ahead and ruin any profit. And you can see how I feel a little comfortable in this trade. I'm only down $52. You know what I mean? Like, granted, I have a day realized of 162 down 212, but if I don't make this back today, I can make this back another day. It's all right. Nah, bro. I don't do any zero DTEs. I do all my options. The expiration date is to the end of the week. Zero DTEs is like a real dangerous game, man. So I don't play that card. I don't play that card. I try to be like as safe as possible. Trading is already a risky job for the most part. So I don't want to make it any more risky than it has to be. Throughout my years of trading, like 6 years experience, man, I've seen it all. And I've done it all for the most part. Like I've made a lot of money, I've lost a lot of money. Um, I know what it is to look at your account bleed, like all the beginner stages, man. I went through that, so like that's why you see me with the one contract, and then that explains why my expiration dates are to the end of the week, just to give me some more time on my trades. You know. Yeah, man. Like when it comes to freaking zero DTEs, it's like kind of like going to the casino. You know what I mean? And you playing like I like to play blackjack, but just imagine going to the blackjack table and you go there with $500 and like you want a quick little fix and then you throw down 300 on your first one and then you bust. You know what I mean? It's just like that's how zero DTEs feel to me. Like you could come with a strategy, but if somebody else comes with some deep pockets and move the stock in the direction that you're not in, man, you get smoked, man. So I don't want to go ahead and deal with that. I don't. I don't. Funny enough, man, there was a position on Nvidia that I had this week, and I could have held it overnight. But mindset wise, due to my disciplined strategy, I don't hold it overnight. I only trade it intraday, so I have it for the day, and then I sell it within the day. So nope, I don't do any overnights. Yeah, bro, no overnights over here, man. I could have did an overnight on it on Nvidia because I bought Nvidia early in the week when it was at 190, and my stop never got touched. And I was thinking about I'm carrying it over, but I think on that day I made like $300 on the day. So when I made like $300 on the day, I thought to myself, I said, well, if I hold on to this contract to the next day, and market conditions have been really choppy, because like we get like a random gap down or like a little pullback, and I didn't want to go ahead and deal with the fluctuations of that because then I could have woke up the next morning and I could have been down $100. I didn't think I was gonna be down, but I didn't want to go ahead and chance it to then ruin the profit I made on the previous day. So I just closed the position out, came back the next day, traded again, and then I made some money. You know what I mean? Right, let's check AMD's order flow right now because I think the order flow on AMD is a bit. Let's see how this thing is looking. There's resistance at 267. From 267 to 267 and a quarter, I'm seeing resistance. I think it will get to 267. So most likely I'm gonna get stopped out, especially with the way this thing is setting up. We're above the VWAP, but we do have some distance. So anytime we have like some distance between the VWAP and the price always comes back down to the VWAP. We're not getting like a smooth togetherness with the moving averages going higher. So just look at Nvidia. You see, at one point Nvidia was extended away from the VWAP, and it came right back down to the VWAP. So I do suspect that that same thing can happen to AMD. It will come back down to the VWAP. This thing might chop around for a while. So I don't think the market is gonna move up until power speaks, and I can see that. Like we're not getting any fluid movement at all. But I will say this: if Nvidia does go short and we get below this orange, I keep saying orange, we get below this purple box. Oh yeah, man, this thing is gonna drop, and then that's when we go ahead and add, and then we take it down to 261. So this is just a patient game. Now I just gotta be patient. Yeah, blackjack is my game, bro. I'm not gonna lie. Like I love me some blackjack. I love me some blackjack, man. And it's crazy. It's just like I just love numbers. You know what I mean? Which, funny enough, growing up, I wasn't really a fan of numbers, but I just like numbers, man. So I like to count. I count the cards. I see the numbers. I just like to see edge, and when it comes to probability kind of outcomes, it's just my thing. So yeah, yeah, yep, for sure, bro. Yeah, man, I'm kind of just sitting inside this trade right now. I'm just sitting inside this short. I'm I'm on the 2 minute chart. I can see here how the non EMA crossed VWAP. So this thing could lead to a bull trend, but just pay attention to this, right? I'm gonna try to go ahead and draw something here, and I'm going to delete it. But just look at all of that. See this, bro? All of that shit is just showing straight up resistance. All of that. The up, the upside movement does not look confident. Just look at all the wicks. So once again, I could completely be wrong, and I'm okay with that. And that's the thing where, I want traders to go ahead and be okay with taking a loss and just be okay with being wrong. I could completely be wrong, but I'm gonna go ahead and call it, and I'm not gonna lose it any more money. But I was able to see that the upside potential was so weak that it didn't make sense for me to go ahead and keep this trade on the long side. And it made the most sense for me to short it. It doesn't make sense for me to get out. And then you also got to give yourself some good spacing on the stock. You got to know, how do these stocks move in terms of, like, what is the price range you should go ahead and set your stop at. So, like, I know, like, for AMD, I can't put my stop at 50 cents. Like I just can't, because AMD moves by it moves by the full dollar amount. So I got to put a dollar stop. So my average cost on AMD is 680. So I put a 580 stop. So I'm going to lose 100 because I know AMD moves by the dollar. Yeah, bro. Appreciate you, dogs. So we're gonna see, and now we can see on the 2 minute we're breaking the VWAP, we're breaking we already broke the non to moving average, so we might get some type of support. But this is what I mean, where I think today is gonna be a little bit choppy, all the way until Powell speaks. I think today is just gonna be straight up choppy. So now that we know that there was resistance, let's go ahead and keep this on the box here. Let's Let me see. And let's put this right around here. Nice. And look at that. Now this is the channel that we're gonna play in. This is the channel that this thing is just gonna play. Now, I'm not gonna add into it just yet. Like I said, these options are fairly expensive, man. So I'm gonna chill a little bit. I like the fact that it did break the VWAP. I do like the risk to reward setup a bit on this. So maybe, I might add soon, but like I said, this thing might go ahead and bounce from the high of this purple, which, I have a red line here, which is yesterday's high, and it might go higher, and we might just go ahead and move between this box for I don't know how long. So I just gotta chill and I gotta wait, gain some more confirmation, because if this thing is gonna fall, it's gonna fall down to 260 at least. So I got ample time to add into the position. So I kind of just gotta chill. Yep. So on Fridays, I'm buying the calls and puts for next week. Yeah, bro. Yeah, bro, it is, and that's exactly what I was saying, man. This thing is just pulling down. It's just pulling. Even look at Nvidia's chart, right? At what point was you gonna get a good play? The only good play happened here on these two bars. That's the only good play. So today, especially when you have a Fed meeting that's gonna take place, do not press the gas like that. Do not press the gas like that, bro. Just chill. But because tomorrow and Friday are gonna be some amazing days. It should be because we got some crazy earnings happening. The Fed meeting is already gonna take place, so it's gonna be like post news. So then like you're gonna have a catalyst for tomorrow. A lot of the times as traders, like sometimes we just can't be patient, so we just want to force plays. But there's nothing to force right now because if we look right here on the 5 minute chart, there's nothing that's going on. Like even on AMD right here, all these two bars are like the best bars. If you would have went ahead and bought at the bottom of this purple or off of the 20-day moving average, then you want to take it for like the break of this high that was intraday. Great, but that was the only play that you was gonna get. Cause right now it's all chop. Nvidia, same thing. You know, Nvidia, same thing. All right. Yeah, I'm just watching this thing just play out right now. When I have my other guys who come on stream, I let them know, man, this is probably going to take like 30 minutes, man. We're probably not going to see anything happen for like 30 solid minutes, man. Like 30 minutes to an hour. The market opened up at 9:30. It's already 10 o'clock back east. Because I'm on the West Coast time, so I wake up super early. So for me, it's 7:03. So we might not see anything really shake up until about 7:30 my time, 7:45 my time, which is 10:45. So on and so forth. So let me see if I can find out what time this power will speak. And days like this, people get chopped up. So what time does Powell? All right, Powell actually he speaks today at 2:30 p.m. So what is that? That is 1:30 to 11:30. Yeah, yeah. So you're talking afternoon moves at this point. Yep, yep. I'm definitely gonna go ahead and post updates. Oh, Cali, yeah, bro. All right, so yep, yep, yep. So you know what it is, man. Yeah, so to wake up at this time is tough. It's tough. It's tough to get up at this time, bro. But it's worth it though. It's worth it. I promise you that. Yeah, so Power speaks at 2:30, so I think 2:30 East Coast time could be about like 11:30 our time. So yeah, like we're talking afternoon moves, and let me show you an example of afternoon moves that is like happening consistently. When we look at Nvidia, just look it up to yesterday. Oops. You see, we didn't get no movement. Like it's basically, Nvidia went short from 9:30 all the way to about 11:35. This candle where we blasted off to all time highs came in at 115. At 150, you know what I mean? So, and that's 115. What, our time or East Coast time? No, because this is East Coast time. So 115 go up. I think that's what 11:15 for us type shit. It's something like that. I don't know. I have to go ahead and keep doing 3 hours back. But you get the gist of what I'm saying is that these early morning moves is probably not going to happen today. So it's probably going to happen later on in the day. Like we're probably going to get something nice. So in the meantime, you feel me? You just sit down and just chill, bro. I let people know that trading is really, really, it's boring. You know what I mean? But you just make a lot of money. But it's boring as shit. I think, like there's just a lot of traders who just go out there. And like I've seen them, like they talk so highly, like, yo, trading is this, yo, I make this, I make that. And yeah, some of these guys are not really lying about how much they make, especially if they show improving profits. But I think there's a false mindset about it when it's like on like how people take the approach on trading. Because real successful traders, because I've met some successful traders, because I went to Traders for a cause too. I met Lance. Some of these traders that you see online, I've met, and man, like they're militant, bro. Like they're militant. Like they're really strict. Like their daily habits matter. Like things that they do. just outside of the market. You know what I mean? Like it matters. So like even when you talk to them, just like their perception, their energy, so they don't come off like yo, I made X amount of dollars. Like you don't even know how much they make, man. I'll be honest with you, but just know they make a lot of freaking money. You know, sometimes they say it, you know, but they say it so casually, like, yeah, you know, I just made like, I'm trying to give an example. I made $100,000 on a trade. Just mad calm, like with no type of reaction to it. Like, yo, you just made 100K and you're not even giving an emotion. Versus you see another trader who makes about 10, 15K and he's over here going crazy about it. So it's all about, like, I like those traders. I like those traders who's calm about it because this game ain't easy, bro. This shit hard as hell. Like this game is hard, you know. So you just gotta be able to just chill out and just let this thing just play out. You know what I mean? Let's see. And then you see I'm up like $5, $8. So like it's dropping, you know what I mean? Like it's dropping. I'm seeing the orders. Just gotta chill and just wait. Like I said, this thing gets below this purple. Oh yeah, man. Like I'm taking it. I'll probably add another. Let's see if I add. Probably add another 2 contracts. But after 2 contracts, I'm gonna chill. And then look at Nvidia. You see, it just kind of held above the VWAP for a while, but then just dropped. So, like this would have been a good short. This is actually a nice short, but this thing might hold because I have a key level right here. This yellow line, which was supposed to be a target. So yeah, like so we know somebody already shorted off of this was this R1. Somebody shorted basically off this R1 and took it down. Yeah, bro. If you're looking for help, man, just come on the live stream, man. Trust me, man. Like I've been I've been doing this too, man. So man, don't go ahead and do this alone, bro. You know what I mean? But your strategy, I always like to say this: strategies could go ahead and differ from one another. You know what I mean? So I don't want my strategy to mess up how you go ahead and view the market. If the way I view the market can help you, then you're absolutely, bro. Just yeah, like join. You know what I mean? Join. I can help you out too, man. So I've been there. I've been there. I'm 6 years in. You know what I mean? I wouldn't say I need help anymore. I think I've already, like, I'm to lock myself in, and other things may confuse the shit out of me if I add other things to my arsenal. So I don't want to be confused. But I'm definitely open to new things. I'm at the same time. So I don't want to confuse you at all because you may see things a little bit differently than me. But if I'm able to help you, bro, yo, absolutely join the live streams and everything, bro. But the 5 minute, yeah, it looks good, bro. It does because we're below VWAP, we're below the non EMA, we're aiming towards the 20. The only issue that I have with this trade, why I'm not adding, is because we're still in a bracketed area. So like we're in between this purple and that purple. So if I add, I could probably get a quick move down, probably make 100, $200 here, but then it could probably spike up and come come right back to this area. So this thing is going to chop around for a while. You know what I mean? I don't know how long, but it's probably going to chop around for a bit. So I don't want to be too aggressive just yet. Because Power does speak at what, 2:30? So if he speaks at 2:30, you know, there's a lot of personality in the market. You know what I mean? Like I like, even though that there is algorithms and bots that are trading, a lot of this is people too. It's actual people who's putting in these orders. So like it only takes somebody with some deep pockets to go ahead and change the price, man. Yeah, bro, that's the goal. Is to find some consistency, man. Like that's the goal. Like last year was probably one of my most consistent years being profitable. Now there's another side, and this is just my experience. There's another side to being consistently profitable, and the other side of that is actually keeping your profits and not getting and just not getting a big head. Because once you start to be profitable, you end up thinking that and it happens out of nowhere. You don't mean to go ahead and be this way, or well, at least I didn't mean to. Is that you start thinking that yo, I'm good at this now, like I've cracked the code, and yo, man, you never cracked the code with this. So like it's like you. That's why like you're gonna see me trade no matter how much money I could make $1,000, $2,000, bro. I come in the next morning with the same mindset, not a scarcity mindset, but like, all right, like let me take it easy a little bit, like just real militant about the position because this thing could get tricky, bro. Like this thing could get real, real tricky. Where like you think you got something going for yourself and you really don't. So, always play hardball, you know what I mean? Like play offense, but damn sure play some defense, man. You gotta play some defense in this game. So like right now, you can see like I'm playing offense because I have a position on, but I'm playing some defense at the same time because I don't want to go ahead and put on too much size, and then now I get knocked out. Then once like a big move come, I can't take it. So you got to be able to play both sides of the ball. Yeah, bro. Like trust me, I know what it is to be consistent too now. It's like you gotta fight that mindset of like, oh shit, I'm nice at this. Like, yeah, you probably are, but always play like you got the next best player right across from you. Like it's kinda like I don't know if you watch basketball, but it's kinda like if we talk about today's NBA, like if you got Anthony Edwards versus Shea, you know what I mean? Like you can't automatically pick Shea every game over Anthony or Anthony over Shea. Like you just can't. It's two dogs. So it's the same thing in the markets. Like you got guys who see things differently and they're a dog in that position and they could, take those quick scalps. But that's probably something that I can't do. You know what I mean? I probably have to wait a little bit longer. Like I know traders who probably already money on the day right now and they took this trade right here. But instead of but for me, I'm taking the short, and I might have to wait a little bit longer on my position. Or I take long to go ahead and process and read the market. Some people could read it a bit quick, but like for them it's quick scalps. You know what I mean? Like they're not in that position for long. They're in that position for literally about 2 seconds. But when you're doing options, it's a little bit different. So you gotta know the game that you in. Options game, you kinda gotta wait. You know what I'm saying? Like you have to wait for your setups when it comes to options. But if you trade in shares, you got a different kind of broker or whatever, or even options too. If you see it, take it, but it's just a quick ride. Like, for example, I was up like what $20 at one point. So imagine if I went in, let's go with 10 contracts. That'd be $200 type shit. You know what I mean? But I would have to go ahead and get out of that shit so fast, and I don't feel like that is like for me. It just doesn't work because psychologically, we know stocks could really take a grind down or take a grind up. So I could miss out on a deeper move because I'm basically grabbing, small gains. And I don't want to grab small gains, you feel me? Yeah, bro, it's anyone's game, bro. Anyone's game. So that's why I'm like, you feel me? Like, it's the same thing with trading. So it's just like, and this is exactly what I was saying, right? I said, watch, this thing is gonna go ahead and trade between here, and that's exactly what it's doing, bro. It's exactly what it's doing. Like I literally drew this up just now. This is exactly what we're gonna do up until we pick a direction, and right now we won't pick a direction up until Powell speaks. The minute, and it's crazy. The minute he talks, I can't. Like I'm not gonna guarantee it. But the way this thing is setting up for a sell-off because we have already made a crazy run. And the other reason why I'm thinking short on AMD, and this is just a thought, the only reason why, going to the daily chart, I see this candle, and normally this candle is a sign of a reversal. The only thing about this candle though is that, the only thing about the next candle, which is today's activity, is that we gapped up. So this thing could go ahead and move higher because we kind of consolidated here for a bit. So I do think a push high is definitely possible. You know what I mean? But that's why I got ammo left where I could still go ahead and hop into that trade if that was to happen. But nonetheless, this is a sign of a reversal. And this can also lead to, a potential sell-off because this was green candle, green candle, green candle. Then yesterday was resistance and it ended regardless red. So that's why today I'm looking at this thing like, yo, you could, mind you, AMD's overpriced. You know what I'm saying? So, which I'm not saying that it's gonna go short forever. It's just a little minor pullback. But this thing is overpriced. So this thing could go ahead and drop down and maybe we could get back into previous days range too. A little bit more because we're already kind of dabbling inside previous days range. So I don't think we would get back to 257 ish. No, but I think we could probably come down to about 260 for sure. If we do fall. And if we go long, then that's cool too. You know what I mean? Because I'm already thinking 270 if we go long. Like if I look on the monthly, like we got a target right here at 270 exact. Yep. Just look at that. So let's go ahead and map that out and put a level there. So yeah, like if we do go ahead and go long, shit, we got a level at 270.06. You know, save some ammo to go ahead and grab that move after some confirmation. Then we also got another one on the weekly at 266.38. But I don't want to, yeah, I'm not going to put that level there because we're already in this zone. So, you know, let's see how this thing go ahead and play out, man. It does look weak though, but like I said, man, this whole area could hold support because this whole area was once resistance. The only way I could believe in this resistance is if we actually, you know what I mean, like we got to break this 50 on a 2 minute. You see how we got some levels in here? We got the 50-day to moving average. We also got R2 pivot level. As long as we're trading above this, I can't add, man. I can't. I like I got to just leave my one position alone. But once we break the 50 and we break R2, then I could start to think about aiming for R3. And R3 is at 262. You feel me? So it seems like we're probably going to go ahead and get it. I'm looking for a better risk to reward setup. I probably should have added in right here at 265 again. That's probably where I should have added. That would have been nice. But that's all right, though. All right, we're breaking the 50 on the 2 minute. Seems like we might break through R2. There's some support at 264 flat, though. I'm looking at the order book on my other screen. Yeah, we just gotta let this play out. I'm not really looking too much at this level 2 time and sales too much. Like I said, I can already see just from chart activity, this thing is just stagnant. It's just really, really stagnant, bro. So I got no choice but to like chill. Like I got no choice. If anything, keep the losses small, man. Always keep it small. Manage your risk. Don't ever go into heavy on plays that you're not confident in. Even if you are confident, just put like a little tester position on. Allow it to, play out. And then once the volume starts to kick in, then you start to add into that. So you add into your winners, you don't add into your losers. Like that saying is absolutely true. Yeah, I had a burp, sorry. All right. And the good part about this is that I got a stop order in. And it's crazy, right? At one point, I never put stop orders. I always had like a mental stop. That shit is the dumbest thing in the world. Like now I get it. Have a stop order in because if it goes against you, the order is automatically gonna trigger and get you out. It makes no sense to have a stop, like a mental stop. Have a stop order, and then you could just sit down and just let the stock go ahead and do its thing. That's basically what I'm doing. I'm just letting this thing just do its thing. Now, just imagine if I was a long trader, right? And that's why I say, yo, man, you got to account for every level that you see here. Imagine if I would have went long right off the break of VWAP. One, I would need to be a very experienced trader, though, which I am. But this is just not my strategy. But I could have broke it. I could have got it. I could have gotten in off of the break of VWAP, taken it to 267 to like the dollar, and sold. That would have been cool. But that's killing my ammo. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not here to waste bullets. So I could have, but we can easily see here that it was just resistance. And then we know that some of these stocks are way over valued. So intraday we can take these shorts. You know what I mean? That doesn't mean we short the market. And I think a lot of people want to short the market for the long run, because everyone believes everything is overvalued. Like I said, which it absolutely is. But as day traders, we don't think like that. You know what I'm saying? Like all we think about is what is happening in the day. Is the market going up today? So everything is about the day. There's nothing about thinking about tomorrow, next week. Nah. Just think as what the saying is. I'm a day trader. I'm just here to trade it for the day. So that goes back to your question, like to hold it overnight. You can, but don't mess up your psychology. You know what I'm saying? Because the minute you hold that one position and it works out, great. But you try that shit again, and then you go ahead and lose previous day's profits off of one contract, because it could happen. Yo, man, you tight. Yo, man, you're gonna be mad. You're gonna be mad. That's how I'm like, just close out your positions by the end of the day. If you want to take swing trades, have a separate account. And I made a video on that, bro. So if you want to take the time out to watch it, please do. I think that was in my last video. I was talking about that. But there was a week of trading. I probably should have made about, like, on that week alone, probably should have made like 1,600, most likely. But I was swing trading within my day trading account. So like I was taking losses. I was just taking losses. I think it was one day, and I said it in the video too. I made 250. I made 283, but I had a loss of like $500 or some shit, and that was because of my swing trade. That was legit because of my swing. So like on the day trading aspect, I made money, but on the swing trade is where I went ahead and lost that. Yeah, bro. So adding to your winners, right? Hopefully you can see an example of that in this trade. But the more you win, like you want your winners to run, and when you're losing, you want to cut that position fast. So if you're winning in a position, so let's say I'm up $100 on a position, then I'm looking to add more money into that trade, because that means we're going in the right direction. So just think about it the opposite way around, right? If somebody is losing, because I've been there, most traders have been there, when you're losing, you're like, oh, wait, we're at this to level, so let me add into it. So then you add into a losing position. It's already red. Like right now, I'm losing $5, $8. Like I'm on this position. I could add into this position, right? But if I add into it, I'm adding to a losing position, because I'm not making any money on this trade. But if I'm winning on this trade, then I add on this trade, then now I'm increasing my chances of making more money. You know what I mean? So that's what it is. Like right now, I could possibly add into this trade. Am I gonna add? I don't know yet. But I could add on this trade, because now I'm in the green. We're getting some to movement, right? And things are starting to work out in my favor. So I wouldn't mind adding into this trade. Well, if we continue, right? So that's adding into your winning, because then now you're increasing your profit. You know what I mean? You're gonna increase your take home. But if you're losing, you don't add into that. You have a set risk that you put on, and if that trade is not working, you get out of there. So you can see today I'm already down realized $162. I don't want to be down crazy amounts for no reason. You know what I mean? If I'm down 500, it needs to be a valid reason why I'm down 500. I just don't want to be down 500 just to be down 500. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? So that's what I mean by like add to those winning positions. Mental stops, hey, yo, cut that out, bro. Trust me, trust me. I was stubborn too. I was definitely stubborn, and then I had my mental stops, and it worked for a little while, but it makes no sense, bro. Like it don't, because you might not get out at that mental stop. You really might not go ahead and get out. But if you got a stop order in, automatically you get out. Like it's like that's what we use these computers for. You know what I mean? Like allow the computer to do all of the hard work that you won't do. You know what I mean? But we are still gonna do the manual work to go ahead and get us ahead. But if you got features like that, yeah, yo, take advantage, put that stop order in there, yo, and just be like, yo, like I'm out of here. Yeah, yeah, man. I'm just waiting for this thing. I kind of want to add right now on this position, but I don't want to be too aggressive on it. Like I said, because and this is important to to realize too, right? Because like we have a level right here, and we're holding on to this 264. And I think I remember saying earlier that there's buyers like legit at 264. Because I can see that on the order book. So that's why I don't want to add yet. But if we break this 50 and we break here, then yeah, I'll be definitely inclined to add for sure, for sure. But right now is not the time to add because I'm not really up too much on the trade. I'm only up 5, 10 bucks. Then I get 20 bucks. So I'm not really up too crazy. It seems like I could possibly take this trade to my level here at 263. If I add and then take this drop and we get to the 200, this looks like a really really good trade to take it right down here. I definitely like the risk to reward setup on the 2 minute chart. I just want to go ahead and make sure of that though. So let's watch the level two and let's see if this ask starts to roll into the bids because it seems like it's about to set up for that real soon. And then we could take this thing short. If not, then this thing is probably gonna go ahead and get above here and probably test up there. And like I said, it's going to trade just between these two boxes I have. So we just gotta wait and see. Yeah, bro. Yo, enjoy, bro. I'm gonna catch you tomorrow, man. Yeah, and appreciate you for joining, bro. Like honestly, man, I catch you on the next one for sure. Right, it's gonna be a slow market today. Slow market today. Up until Powell speaks. But this short on AMD is looking like really, really, a really good setup, man. Okay. We could definitely see here on AMD we're just staying below VWAP, man. Just look how we're just staying below. So I'm definitely loving the setup. We just need some catalyst some market news to happen, and I think this would be a great trade, man. Alrighty, I'm probably gonna call stream at 7:45. I'm gonna call it. It's gonna be a slow day. I think tomorrow there'll definitely be some more activity in the markets, so I'm probably gonna call the stream early at 7:45. To my time, which is 10:45. 'Cause once again, I don't think we're gonna get any movement up until Powell speaks. So as I mentioned, I probably want to save some ammo. I've only taken 3 trades today. I had 5 fills because I bought one, sold one, bought one, sold one, and I'm in my 5th one. So yeah. It's a good trading session. I haven't overtraded. I have not overtraded. So nice. Nvidia starting to roll over. I don't want to take Nvidia though. Nvidia's option is $500 now. Oh my gosh, man! The higher the price, the higher the premiums on these options go. This would have been a nice trade to buy right here at 210, but you only would have gotten $1.50 off this move. There's a lot of consolidation right here on AMD. A lot of consolidation right there. Just waiting for our next opportunity. Mm-mm-mm. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. Waiting. The video looks good, man. But the buy was down here. The buy is not here. So I can't take that. Right. Yeah, AMD is trying to fall. And the sellers are definitely trying to take over. Sellers are trying. Yeah. The only thing about taking this thing short, like adding into this position, is that we have the 50-day moving average, and some buying can take place right there. Oh, damn, man, this is nice. Oh, there we go. We got that drop. I'll probably add on the pullback. So if we could pull back to R2, it's probably not going to go ahead and pull back to R2, though. Like I said, because we got this 50-day moving average here on the 5 minutes, so that's why they add. Because this thing could go ahead and buy up at any point in time. Gotta wait, gotta wait, gotta wait, gotta wait. Okay, I like that. I like this. All right, I'm probably gonna be a bit risky on this one. Let's wait because we got this 200 right here. But this is nice. This is nice. Like what I'm seeing. Then we could probably take this to 262. That's it. I just want some type of pullback. All right. I'm in there. We're going to try to take it down to pre-market low. Where we at? Where we at? Where we at? Perfect. Try to hold on to this trade at pre-market low. Yeah, we had a strong buy up off of R1. But we're going to let this play out. I'll be right back. Be right back, guys. Alrighty, okay. So I have been making a little bit of money on this position. I did go ahead and step away for a little bit. But I'm probably gonna call the stream here. I'll post updates and I'll give you guys obviously a weekly update on how I'm doing this month of trading. But we're gonna go ahead and close up shop. Powell's gonna speak within like a few hours, a couple of hours. So we're just gonna go ahead and wait for that and see how the market reacts. But I'm out of here, man. I'm gonna catch you guys on the next one. Peace and love, and see you guys.